Alright, so I've seen a ton of people talking about what they want Fortune's Weave to bring, new stuff they want to bring back, and the thing I've seen people debate the most is the 4 routes with the 4 protagonists. I ain't gonna lie, I think everyone's looking at it the wrong way. Everybody's assuming this is gonna be another Free Houses or Fate situation where you pick a side and then play one route while locking yourself out of the others. I get why people think that, because those games made route splits insanely popular. People love picking a side, you know what I mean? Like, that's why people still argue about that Aelgar and Dimitri shit 6 years later. God damn. But Fire Emblem's actually been doing route splits way longer than that. They just used to do them differently, and in my opinion, they used to do them better. Echoes has Alm and Celica, each with their own respective armies, before they join together in the Duma fight. Sacred Stones has Erica and Ephraim splitting off for a while before coming back together. Finally, you've got Radiant Dawn. You're constantly swapping between Micaiah's army, Ike's army, Alyntia's army, and everybody has their own maps, their own struggles, their own resources. You get to look at so many different point of views when it comes to the overall conflict. Then part 4 rolls around, bro. I fucking love Radiant Dawn part 4. My favorite part of any video game ever. Everybody finally comes together, and then you gotta split them up. Hawk army, Silver army, Grell army, pick who goes where, who can contribute. You're actually commanding an entire war instead of babysitting just one squad for the whole game. It allows you to be more orientated with the entire cast, not just the 10 people available, just because there's 10 deployment slots available, you know what I mean? Once you finally made it all the way to the tower, you get to pick the best units from each army. Like, you're assembling the Avengers, man. The dream team, you know what I'm saying? That shit is beautiful. That payoff is one of the biggest reasons why Radiant Dawn is my favorite game ever, bro. I love that shit. Now, the reason why I'm bringing all of this shit up is because my biggest hope for Fortune's Weave is to see another Radiant Dawn-like situation. Y'all might think I'm coping here. Y'all might think I'm delusional. But hear me out, alright? I honestly don't think these 4 lords in Fortune's Weave make sense as opposing sides. Because in the past, Corrin had to choose between Hoshido and Lore because they were literally at war, and it's choosing between your birth family and the family that raised you, right? And then Byleth had to choose a side because, well, you just pick a house at the beginning, but contextually, or like story-wise, lore-wise, Edelgard, Dimitri, the church, they all want to complete different things, different political views, and they're also geographically, politically different, you know what I'm saying? But Kai, Leda, Dietrich, Theodora, I just don't see it, man. They're just all so different in age, personality, and status that I don't think Intelligent Systems is setting up another pick one and abandon the other's story, you know what I'm saying? Because we've already seen characters from one group's army showing up in another group's map in the trailers, which reminds me a lot of Radiant Dawn, where characters are constantly moving. You got Ilyana moving from Micaiah to Ike. We got, Neff and Braum moving, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. My biggest hope goes with the Avatar, though. Avatar, Ishmael, I think is his name, the angel thing, the white angel. I'm hoping that Ishmael isn't another Corrin or another Byleth. I hope he's more like this omniscient guide that's following everybody instead of becoming the center of the conflict. It's not all about you. You should just watch from a distance and then let the protagonist be the protagonist, you know what I'm saying? So let me play as House Amin's guys for a few chapters, then we get to switch to Kai, then we get to switch to Theodora and Leda, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get to see all different perspectives, we get to be more orientated with all of the characters, no benching. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, because if they end up doing that, I honestly think they brought back, like, oh my god, I'm gonna love this game so much if they do that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit gonna be beautiful.
Sensational.
The reason I care so much about this isn't even from like a personal bias standpoint, because I just genuinely think that these types of army splits solve Fire Emblem's biggest gameplay problem, or at least its biggest pet peeve. Every single Fire Emblem player, I know you've been playing a Fire Emblem game before, and you're like, oh, I want to put this guy on oh, I want to put this guy on, but you're forced to bench him because the chapter has a deployment slot limit of like 7 or 8 or like 12 at the most. In a game where there are like 30 something interesting characters, you only get to use like a quarter of the of the whole cast. Now, they did try to solve this problem in the past with Awakening and even like Sacred Stones. You see an Engage later, it's like, okay, I see that you want to use everybody because you like everybody. I'm gonna just give you unlimited time and unlimited resources, you know, let's put paralogs and skirmishes on there. But like, fuck no, bro, this just ain't a strategy game at that point, because like the whole point of using a character isn't just to use him for the hell of it, isn't just to level him up for the hell of it, it's to level him up so that he becomes useful in beating the game. Right? So that's just like, that doesn't like, just giving you game time, it's like, bro, it's like Liverpool sending fucking Trey Neone to go play a friendly against like the 3rd Division La Liga team or some shit. Like, he's getting game time, sure, but he's like, he's not really helping you win the league, you know what I'm saying? Once you can grind forever, it stops feeling like strategy and starts feeling like busy work. So Radiant Dawn doesn't solve the deployment problem by giving you infinite maps, it solves it by giving you more armies. Suddenly, Har isn't competing with Jill, competing with Marcia, Tanef for the same position in the team anymore. They all get to contribute in different ways. It doesn't even have to be like combat contributions. You know, like, I don't think Mordecai, when I played Radiant Dawn, I don't think Mordecai had like a single fight, but he was so useful because he could just smite people, you know? Who else? Like Sigrun with like the rescue drops, healing, you know, Laura with the healing, like, dude, there's just so many ways for them to be useful, and they're forced to be useful because, like, you're forced to use them because they're limited slots. Like, you don't get to bench people, which is what makes the game such a good strategy game, because you're forced to use the little resources you have. And since you're forced to use all of these characters, by the time you reach the end of the game, you actually know almost the entire cast, because almost everybody had something to contribute. I feel like out of all of the Fire Emblem games, Radiant Dawn is the game where, like, you know, sometimes you'll see a character from a game and you'll be like, who the fuck is that guy? Because you just benched him the entire game, right? I don't think people do that with Radiant Dawn that much. Like, I feel like if you played Radiant Dawn, you'll recognize every character. Like, I've played FE6 like a couple times. I played FE7 a couple times. I don't know who the fuck Lot is. Nigga, who are you? Bro, I just didn't use him. Y'all really think I'm trying to use like Wallace, bro? Like, come on, bro. And like, Echoes definitely does this too with Alm and Celica. That's why I enjoyed Echoes so much too, even though like I personally don't like Echoes gameplay that much, but like I just loved how you like got to use pretty much everyone, and like the voice acting and everything just like really enhanced it. And I can't wait to see how Fortune's Weave gets you orientated with everybody. You know, it's just like my hopes are really high up here, so I hope it doesn't get shot down. But like, dude, if Fortune's Weave actually is 4 armies instead of 4 routes, I generally think that's some cinema right there, bro. That's some cinema. Take my, I already pre-ordered 120 fucking Canadian dollars for this game. Let's yo, that shit gonna be worth it every penny. I ain't gonna lie. But you know, maybe I'm on some insane hopium shit and whatever the fuck y'all be saying nowadays. Maybe I'm completely wrong. You know, maybe I'm completely wrong. But like, yeah, I really hope I'm not, because that's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, Peshkats.